I mean, this putt is unbelievable. Look at this freaking putt. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Caitlin Clark's got real talent, folks. Oh, there's the girls right there. What y'all drinking? What y'all young ladies drinking? Yeah, what's in the cups? Is it Sophie Cunningham hits a spectator and several other guys fall down as well. They all tried to fall down so they could get a squeeze from Sophie. So this is Lexi Hull right here. All right. And there we go. Yeah, that was the ball that was sputtering right down through there. Caitlin Clark's laughing.
That putt right there just changed everything. Not just for Caitlin Clark's off-season plans, but for her entire financial future. Because within hours of that shot going viral, she received an invitation that most WNBA players never even dream about. We're talking about $1 million opportunity in a completely different sport. And when you see the actual numbers behind this, you'll understand why Caitlin might be building something way bigger than basketball. But here's what nobody's connecting. While everyone's watching Sophie Cunningham create chaos on the golf course, there's a calculated strategy playing out that reveals two completely different approaches to building value in women's sports. One's entertainment through unpredictability, the other's excellence through preparation and the opportunities each path creates. They're not even in the same universe. This isn't just about a fun celebrity golf tournament. This is about Caitlin Clark potentially discovering a second career that could pay her more than the WNBA ever will. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. If you believe the financial realities behind women's sports matter just as much as what happens on the court, hit that like button. Because what we're about to uncover here changes the entire conversation about how female athletes should be thinking about their careers. The Annika Pro-Am isn't some random charity event where athletes show up to smile for cameras and take selfies. This is serious business. It's where professional golfers network with sponsors, where brands identify their next endorsement deals, and where athletes from other sports prove they belong in conversations beyond their primary game. Caitlin Clark understood the assignment: full Nike golf setup, proper equipment, professional cadence. She showed up looking like someone who'd been training for this. And that viral putt you just watched, that wasn't luck. That was the result of legitimate skill development. Because here's what many of you have been saying in the comments for weeks now. Caitlin doesn't do anything halfway. When she commits to something, she goes all in. We saw it transform her from a high school prospect into the most dominant college basketball player of all time. We watched it carry over to a record-breaking WNBA rookie season. Now we're seeing that same mentality applied to golf. But let's filter out the noise and focus on what actually matters here. Within hours of that putt going viral, Bryson DeChambeau reached out with an invitation to his golf event. Now, if you don't follow golf closely, you might not realize what a massive deal this is. Bryson isn't just another pro golfer. He's one of the biggest names in the sport. Known for revolutionizing how the game is played with his scientific approach and raw power, his events draw millions of viewers and serious prize money. The invitation Caitlin received, it's for a competition with $1 million on the line. Let me repeat that, $1 million. For a single golf event. Now compare that to WNBA salaries. Even with Caitlin's rookie contract and endorsements, most players in the league are making a fraction of what they'd earn from winning just one event like this. And here's the kicker. The video of that invitation announcement has already generated over 16 million views. 16 million views. That's not just attention, that's currency in today's digital economy. That's proof that Caitlin Clark can bring massive audiences to whatever sport she touches. And the golf world is watching very carefully, because they've been trying to solve a problem for years. How do you attract younger viewers? How do you bridge the gap between traditional golf fans and the social media generation? How do you make the sport relevant to people who grew up watching highlight reels, not full tournaments? Caitlin Clark might be their answer. She's got the competitive credibility to be taken seriously by golf purists. She's got the skill level to actually compete at these events. And she's got this massive, engaged fan base that will follow her into any arena she enters. That's not just valuable, that's transformative for a sport trying to expand its reach. Now, let's talk about what was happening on the other side of this event. Because while Caitlin was building this strategic, skill-based brand, Sophie Cunningham was creating a completely different kind of value. Sophie showed up with her Indiana Fever gear, brought her chaotic energy, and proceeded to hit a spectator with a golf ball in what became one of the most viral moments of the entire tournament. And here's what's fascinating about these two approaches. They're both working. They're both creating opportunities, but they're leading to very different types of doors opening. Sophie's building a brand around personality and entertainment. She's the character who thrives on unpredictable moments, that has real value in the content creation economy. Brands love working with personalities who can generate authentic viral moments. But Caitlin's operating on a different level entirely. She's showing up with precision, with preparation, with this calculated approach to everything she does, and that's attracting a different kind of opportunity. Not just content deals and social media partnerships, but legitimate invitations to compete at the highest levels of another sport entirely. Reading between the lines here, you can see the psychology behind each strategy. Sophie knows her strengths. She's leaning into what makes her unique and entertaining. There's nothing wrong with that approach. In fact, it's smart brand building for what she's trying to accomplish. But Caitlin's playing a longer game. She's building a multi-sport athletic brand that could extend her earning potential decades beyond her basketball career. Think about the math here for a second. Basketball careers are short. Your body breaks down. Most players are done by their mid-30s. Even the greats can't play forever. But golf? That's a sport you can play professionally into your 40s, 50s, even beyond at certain levels. Phil Mickelson won a major championship at 50. Bernhard Langer was competitive on the Champions Tour into his 60s. The longevity potential is completely different. So what Caitlin's doing right now, whether she's consciously thinking about it this way or not, is building an insurance policy for her future. She's creating options, and given how strategically smart she's been about every other aspect of her career, from her college choice to her endorsement deals to how she handles media, I'm willing to bet she knows exactly what she's building here. The evidence is right in front of us. She's not just showing up to these golf events for fun photo ops. She's putting in real work to develop legitimate skills. That viral putt didn't happen by accident. That's the result of hours on the range, working with coaches, studying the game, applying that same obsessive attention to detail that made her dominant in basketball. And now the golf world is noticing. Now doors are opening that most WNBA players never even knew existed.
All right, Sophie Cunningham.
Not a terrible little practice swing, to be honest.
It's getting real.
Oh my God, this is so bad.
It's getting real. Hey, nobody.
Wednesday Pro-Am, here is Caitlin at the 10th. Yeah.
Looks like she was able to put into work a little bit of what Jamie was telling her release that.
We got Caitlin Clark walking down to the 18th hole. Wind blowing 14 miles an hour out of the north.
Now here's where this story gets even more compelling. Drop a comment below telling me what you think about Caitlin potentially pursuing golf seriously, because the financial implications are staggering when you actually break down the numbers. And I want to hear from you. Do you think this is smart career planning, or should you stay focused purely on basketball? Let me know your thoughts. The reality that nobody wants to talk about directly is this. The WNBA doesn't pay most players enough to live comfortably year-round in major cities. Even with Caitlin's rookie contract, even with her endorsement deals, she's making a fraction of what male athletes with similar cultural impact earn. So when an opportunity like this golf invitation comes along with $1 million on the line and exposure to 16 million viewers, that's not just entertainment. That's potentially serious income from a single event. And we're getting into territory here that requires some speculation, but multiple sources in both basketball and golf circles are whispering about something bigger. If these reports are accurate, this isn't just about one invitation. This could be the beginning of a sustained presence in professional golf events during WNBA off-seasons, because the golf world has a problem they're desperately trying to solve, and Caitlin might be their solution. Traditional golf demographics are aging. Younger audiences aren't tuning in to watch full tournaments the way previous generations did. The sport needs fresh personalities who can bridge that gap, who can bring social media relevance while maintaining competitive credibility. And that's an incredibly rare combination. You need someone who's already built a massive following, someone who has actual athletic ability to compete, someone who understands how to create compelling content naturally, someone whose presence alone guarantees millions of eyeballs. Caitlin Clark checks every single box. She built a fan base during her college career that rivaled anything we'd seen in women's college basketball. She carried that momentum into a record-breaking WNBA rookie season. And now she's demonstrating that her athletic excellence translates across sports. That viral putt wasn't a fluke. That was skill meeting opportunity. And the golf world recognized it immediately. Connecting the dots here reveals something fascinating about timing. The WNBA season just ended. These players aren't taking vacations. They're not disappearing until next season starts. They're capitalizing on momentum. They're staying in front of audiences. Sophie, Lexi Hall, Caitlin, all of them at this event together, all building their brands in different ways. And what I'm about to show you proves the strategy is working better than anyone expected. Let's talk about that Sophie Cunningham moment, because it demonstrates something important about viral content economics. When Sophie hit that spectator sick bus, when everyone around started falling down trying to get close to her, when the whole thing turned into chaos, that created a certain type of value. It generated laughs. It spread across social media. It reinforced Sophie's brand as the fun, unpredictable personality. That clip probably got millions of views across various platforms. But here's the difference. That moment was entertaining. Caitlin's putt was impressive. Entertainment creates short-term engagement. Excellence creates long-term opportunities. Both have their place in building a brand, but they lead to fundamentally different types of career paths. Sophie's approach opens doors to content creation, social media partnerships, personality-driven endorsements. Caitlin's approach opens doors to legitimate multi-sport competition, performance-based prize money, and endorsements built on athletic achievement rather than entertainment value alone. Neither path is better or worse. They're just different. But when you look at earning potential over a 20 or 30-year period, when you consider career longevity, when you factor in the physical toll basketball takes compared to golf, the math starts telling a very clear story. And Caitlin's smart enough to be running those calculations. Many of you have been pointing this out in the comments for weeks. You were onto something when you noticed how strategically Caitlin approaches everything. From her college decision to transfer timing, to how she handles contract negotiations to media appearances. Nothing is random. Everything serves the larger picture of building sustainable, long-term value. This golf situation is just the latest example of that strategic thinking playing out in real time. Now, fans have been connecting these dots, and the WNBA community is buzzing about something that goes beyond just Caitlin's individual opportunities. Because what's happening here could change the template for how women's basketball players think about their careers entirely. For decades, the path was straightforward. Play college basketball, get drafted, play in the WNBA, maybe play overseas during the off-season to supplement income, Retire in your early 30s, maybe transition into coaching or broadcasting if you're lucky. But Caitlin's demonstrating a different model. Play basketball at the highest level. Use that platform to build a massive personal brand. Develop skills in other sports during off-seasons. Create multiple income streams that don't depend on your basketball career continuing. Build relationships across different industries. Position yourself as a multidimensional athlete rather than just a basketball player. And by doing that, extend your earning potential decades beyond when your playing career ends. The Bryson DeChambeau invitation isn't just about one event. It's evidence that the doors she's opening by being excellent at multiple things are leading to opportunities most people never considered possible for WNBA players. We're not getting into rumor territory here. This is documented, public information. The invitation happened. The $1 million prize is real. The 16 million views are trackable. This isn't speculation. This is the new reality of women's sports in the social media age. And here's what makes this moment particularly significant. We're in this unprecedented window where women athletes are finally getting the platform and attention they deserve. But the infrastructure to monetize that attention is still being built. The business models are still being figured out. The revenue streams are still being established. So the athletes who figure out how to maximize their value right now, who figure out how to create their own opportunities rather than waiting for the system to catch up, those are the ones positioning themselves for generational wealth. Caitlin's not waiting for the WNBA to increase salary caps. She's not waiting for networks to offer better broadcast deals. She's not waiting for sponsors to recognize the value of women's basketball. She's creating her own opportunities. She's building her own platform. She's proving her value across multiple arenas. And every time she does something like sink a viral putt at a professional golf event, she's making it harder for anyone to ignore the business case for investing in women athletes. So what happens next? Does Caitlin accept the golf invitation and compete for that $1 million? Does she continue developing her game to the point where she could actually compete regularly on women's professional golf tours? Does she use this moment as leverage to create even bigger cross-sport opportunities we haven't thought of yet? Whatever she decides, one thing's absolutely clear. She's not just playing the game. She's changing the rules entirely. If you want to see where this story goes next, you need to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because I promise you, what Caitlin does with this opportunity is going to create ripple effects across both basketball and golf. And you're not going to want to miss how this plays out. Next video, we're breaking down the actual numbers behind women's sports salaries versus alternative income opportunities like this. Trust me, when you see the comparison, everything about this situation makes even more sense. The system is changing. The question isn't whether Caitlin can compete at multiple sports. She's already proving that. The question is whether everyone else can keep up with how fast she's rewriting what's possible. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.